Rwanda's highland rainforest is home to some amazing biodiversity, and its ecosystems are important far beyond its boundaries. One of the few places where it is still possible to study large primates in the wild, Rwanda is one of the most naturally beautiful places on Earth. When you come into a natural environment like this African rainforest here in Rwanda, you can't help but notice the differences in humidity, temperature, and even the levels of oxygen. The difference between this and human-altered environments is the profusion of biodiversity, the enormous quantities of biomass, and everywhere here is decaying organic matter. The beauty is also functional. The benign climate and abundant water resources support thriving tea and coffee crops. Rwanda is what's known as a highland water tower, and its hydrological importance is not simply local. Kambogo is the chief tourism officer in the Nyungwe National Park.
Now, it is said that 70% of the waters in Rwanda come from Nyungwe. The rivers flowing in the east feed the river Nile. Then the rivers flowing in the west feed the river Congo. There are many springs in the park, and we are still even discovering more because of the impenetrable parts of the forest.
The water here is not only used by Rwandese. It goes throughout Africa. It goes up to Egypt. This is going in Congo River. And in the east, it goes to the Nile River. And that, no one understands that if water is going there, it is coming from somewhere. It's coming from a functional system.
But if the land is degraded for generally unproductive primitive agriculture, much of the hydrological function can be lost. If nature has been generous, human beings have often been destructive. Reducing biodiversity, reducing biomass, and reducing the accumulation of organic matter. Impoverishing the land and the people.
Around 2007, we started having landslides, and we've lost actually the ecological function. Now people have been moved from the other side of the Zigishwati because of landslide, because it is not functioning, it is not sustainable. We are facing floods in the city of Kigali. It is just morning. We have to recover the functions.
What you see here is replicated around the world. Hundreds of millions of people farm for survival and degrade fragile environments, and this is expected to get worse with climate change and population growth. The fate of these people and the fate of the environment are intimately intertwined. If this goes on for yet more decades and generations, the outcomes will become more and more dire. This is a problem begging for a solution. The Rwandan government has understood that the future of its people depends on the health of its ecosystems, and it has embarked on an ambitious plan to restore the entire country. This is the village of Rubaya in Rwanda near the Ugandan border. Some of the poorest people in the country live here. They're trying a concept to see whether it's possible to reduce poverty by actively improving the environment. Working with UNDP and UNEP, Alex Mulisa coordinates the Poverty Environment Initiative.
The concept is intended to bring poor families together in this umudugudu as a way of spurring economic development for this umudugudu to lift them up from poverty.
One target is to make sure that we have mapped all those degraded ecosystems and starting by rehabilitating them so they can recover their functions. So I think if we manage to make sure that Gishwati is rehabilitated, maybe why not Rugezi, why not all those hills which are really empty, when we can afforest them, plant for, we can be a leader. You can't be a leader when you only talk.
The potential for restoration in Rwanda is high, and considering the heartbreaking struggles that Rwanda has faced, makes its restoration even more compelling.
I would like to see our kids, grandchildren, living in an environment, in a country where it is good, it is environmentally healthy, economically healthy, and having the imbalance between the two.